Just the simplest walk down the street is extreme exertion and incredibly strenuous for this 27-year-old. Bryn McLennan is very inspirational. She's very independent, and she rarely asks for help. But she needs a little help right now. We're going to share her story on today's program. We're in Bryn McLennan's kitchen, decorated by Bryn, designed by Bryn with some special adaptations, counter heights and all the rest. Bryn's welcomed us into her personal space because you're sharing your very personal and very private story. You're 27 years old now, but when you were 12, your world changed very, very quickly, didn't it, Bryn?
Yes, very much so. I was diagnosed when I was 12 with muscular dystrophy. It's called, and then the rare case that I have is FSH, which is facioscapulohumeral. Affects the face, the scapulas, and your arms. Which obviously doesn't allow me to stand for very long, so I'm just going to take a lean right here. Absolutely. So standing for more than 10 seconds can be strenuous. Walking, stairs, all of that stuff is just hard for me to do. And
you were an athlete. You were a really top athlete. You were in competitive hockey.
Yep.
And that's sort of when you started to notice some of the changes.
Yeah, I was I got drafted onto the Capitals, which was the best girls in all of Ottawa, played onto that team. I couldn't play that year because I started to notice that I couldn't skate as fast. My shooting was just not as strong, and so I wasn't able to do it, and I didn't understand why, and I just kept getting benched and benched and benched. And I was pushing myself just as much as I usually do, and there was no visible signs of it. I just couldn't physically do it anymore.
Then you sort of started to notice some physical signs, your shoulder blades.
Yeah, the muscle that holds your shoulder blade started to atrophy, so the shoulder blade started to wing out. And my mom actually noticed it when I was swimming, that it was starting to wing out a bit. The next following summer, it started to go over to the left side. It started on the right side of my body, and then it moved to the left side.
And life changed quite rapidly from then.
From right then on, yeah. Yeah.
Now describe, you're incredibly active, incredibly independent. I mean, you live on your own, and you work for the government.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, in what capacity?
I work for the Public Health Agency of Canada. I work for the Chronic Disease Prevention and Control, so kind of ironic, but yeah, so that's where I work right now.
And one of the reasons we're here today is to talk about a form of research, and actually a procedure that takes place in Mexico. It's a stem cell procedure. We're going to learn more about that a little bit later, and it's something that you were investigating on your own with your own family when a group of friends said, no, people need to know, and for Miss Independence, suddenly for the first time you're asking for a little bit of help and support.
Right, yeah. It was very hard to do that, to reach out to people, especially not being very comfortable with having your disease out there and having kind of your personal life out there. It was definitely a step that I took in my life, and I'm just loving it. It actually makes me feel more free. It helps to educate people. It's just, there is no downfall to it.
No, and the procedure is really expensive. We're going to talk about that when we come back. But first, before we get to that, because we'll introduce your mom, who's been such a key component of every element of your life. She gave you life.
Yeah.
But we were talking earlier about the most commonly asked questions you get and reactions you get from people. And you're just always so calm, cool, and collected about educating.
Right.
Now tell us the typical.
There's many different questions. Mostly people want to know if I'm in pain. Just looking at me and looking at how my body is shaped in a question mark, people automatically think that I'm in pain. And although I am in a bit of pain, I'm sore. It's such a gradual process, the deterioration of my muscles, that my spine has been able to kind of bend backwards. It's not like just taking you and then bending you backwards, right? So it was slower. So I'm in pain, but it's not as painful as it looks. It's more the struggles of my day-to-day life that really take the toll.
And you're wanting to halt the degeneration. That's the hope.
The hope is to halt it and to improve the muscles that are already there, build upon them, and build my stamina and my energy up so that I can actually continue to live my life how I'm living it now, and even better maybe.
I think you're not wanting to stand anymore. You were going to actually just, every little thing, you're taking out the garbage is work, you know, it's astronomical for you. And you said standing is really hard. How far are you able to walk at any given time?
I'm able to walk, thank you, about, I don't know, the length of a driveway. You know, less than a block, half a block, something like that. Yeah, and I can. It's more. I just start to feel exhausted, and More just that my spine will actually hurt because it is so compressed in that stance, in the walking stance, and my arms really take a toll as they're trying to hold up the top part of my body.
And then when your body's physically exhausted, it's mentally exhausted.
Oh yes, totally. Yeah.
We're going to be back with more of Bryn McLennan, and we're going to tell you about stem cells for Bryn. We're going to introduce your mom when we come back. We're spending time getting to know Bryn McLennan, her challenges and her goals and objectives over the next year. Your walls are covered with motivational expressions, sayings, and words. You know, words like belief and courage and wisdom, and you're even wearing some of them.
Yeah. I have harmony on my right wrist and passion on my left. And the first one I ever got when I was 16 was strength on my ankle.
And it's serving you well.
Yeah, strength means a lot to me. It's what I've needed through this whole struggle.
We're sitting on your unmade bed, and it's unmade for a reason, because of the amount of energy you would have to exert to actually make your bed.
Yep.
Enough goes into doing laundry, and actually maybe you would share with viewers just what it's like for you when you finally get around to, you know, laundry day.
Laundry day is difficult. I usually let it pile up because of the amount of strength that it takes to actually carry the basket. I've tried different methods of getting it to the laundry machine, but as you can see, it's quite a lot of effort, and I will often let it just build up and build up because I can't be bothered to actually do this all the way in.
And you've come up with other really great labor-saving methods
Yes.
of things like, I mean, you have gorgeous cats. I asked you, I said, what do you do with the litter boxes? And you said, solution found.
Yeah. Well, I love cats, and I couldn't picture my life without them, so I've had to come up with a different idea, and that's a self-cleaning litter box.
Which your mother said was the money very, very well spent.
Yeah.
This is Terry Sarrazin, mother, friend, and I don't know. Best friend.
Yeah.
And I don't even know who inspires who the most, but I think that in looking at you, Terry, you've learned so much from Bryn.
Of course.
Yeah. And this year especially.
Yeah, I think she's learned or taught me how to let go of control. That's a good lesson for a mom. She also taught me how to take orders really, really well. Who's boss? Never the parent. And I think we inspire each other on a daily basis. I don't know how many texts we send in a day. It's amazing. Some of them are like, where are you? What do you... I mean, some of them are, you know, small and trite, and some of them are profound.
And now you've embarked on this project of raising money for stem cell procedure in Mexico. And just this past weekend, many of you will have seen the story. Many of you will have participated in the walk. You had a pretty, like a tsunami of emotion this weekend.
Profound. It was very profound.
You have raised a lot of money in a really short period of time
$16,000.
with community love.
With community love. It was amazing. I don't know how much I wept. I mean, I've been working with money my whole career, but there was all this money on my kitchen table. And all I could do was cry. It was amazing. These people are so wonderful.
Well, you're a financial planner, and you're doing the math, knowing that over the next while you have to raise $40,000. Poor Rob almost just fell backwards over one of the great, gorgeous cats and kept on rolling. As a financial planner, I mean, you know what that's going to mean over the long haul, because your procedures, Bryn, it's going to be $40,000 a year on an ongoing basis, correct?
Yep. Yep, twice a year, so $20,000 each treatment, and for the rest of my life, I'll be needing it.
We're going to talk about the treatments when we come back, and we'll also just talk about what it was like for you, Terry, to suddenly have a healthy hockey player and then to have everything change, what felt like virtually overnight. We're going to be back with more of Bryn and Terry. Bryn McLennan and her mom, Terry Sarrazin, have been on quite the journey together, and it's been many years of adapting to deal with your physical challenges and many years of hope as well. And right now, you're embarking on probably the most exciting time ever for both of you. You're about to head to Mexico when, Bryn?
End of October, early November.
And it's to have exactly what done. Terry, this is where you are financial planner turned medical researcher.
I am. We're going to go to New Progreso, Mexico for adult stem cells. They're placenta stem cells, and there's some injections, and then some are going to be subcutaneously put under her skin in specific areas. And yeah, I'm very excited about it.
And what will that do in terms of physiologically in your body, Bryn?
Well, I'm hoping it'll give me more stamina, some more energy, build on the muscles that are already there, and hopefully rebuild the ones that are already atrophying.
And although stem cell research can be very controversial, this is not the controversial
This
type.
is not the controversial.
And this is the only place that this procedure is taking is actually occurring.
Correct.
So there's a lot of hope. I mean, right now you're feeling overwhelmed because there's tons of community support.
Absolutely, totally.
And there are a lot of other events taking place to raise money for Bryn's treatment. And of course, we have a link on our website to your website. You can also learn more about Bryn's story. But you know, just in spending time with you, it's interesting. And so many people who deal with any physiological challenges will know how your mind is having to work 4 times as hard to figure out how you're going to do the most typical task.
Yep. Everyth's planned. Everything has to be pre-planned just to save my energy. I'm going to make sure that I have my wallet. I got to make sure I have my purse, my bags, and everything that's going on. So if I get into the car and I don't have it, that's just more energy that I've lost having to go in and get what I've forgotten. So everything needs to be planned.
You're absolutely efficient, and I'm glad you mentioned car because you do drive. I mean, so many elements of your life are completely normal, but then there are so many things that you watch your daughter, who is so dynamic in every way. There are things that she's not able to do, and I guess that's where...
That's trying. That's troublesome. That's painful. That's Mom, for sure.
When Bryn was 12 and everything changed for you, Terry, just describe how your world was suddenly rocked.
Well, you have dreams, right? Those kind of got eradicated. And then she created new dreams for me because she's so dynamic. She came out of the womb strong, ready to go. And she's done all this herself. I'm just her helper.
And biggest fan.
And biggest fan.
And full-time employee in certain ways. Yeah.
There is that too. The pay is a little low.
Yeah, but the laughter is there. We want to thank you so much, and we're sending you with such incredible hope in terms of what this treatment can do, and of course encouragement, and encouraging all of you to learn more on our website.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.